Mission 4, the penultimate mission in the Bagration Attrition of War linked campaign. So last game, Sherry won a stunning victory against the Germans, using up the Panzer IV Company for the Germans because I couldn't see any of the mission where they would be used, and also giving the infantry units well-needed rest after 2 games of hard fighting. So mission 4, Swinging the Sickle, is basically a kind of like a rearguard mission. Things are withdrawn, but there's 3 objectives that also get withdrawn. So it's quite an interesting one. I played it once before as the Soviets, and I didn't win that one. So we'll have a look at the regiments now after our reinforcement phase. So I've kind of taken over control of the Soviet regiment and German regiment. I don't want to keep pestering Mike to edit this stuff. He is busy, so I've been doing it. So the only thing I've done is spent some of the well-earned reinforcement points Sherry used and some of the reinforcement pool just to get the Hero shock rifle battalion up to strength, and brought in some artillery so we can finally use under the cover of smoke, and a few nice little command cards as well, which we'll see in the next section. And there's still plenty of reinforcement points and stuff in the pool as well. As you can see here, they bought an OP for the artillery because they'll be needed this game. Got the actual artillery we need for under cover of smoke, and then you can see a few command cards and plenty of reserve points, still 33 points, and plenty of stuff in reserve that might be needed in the next game. Okay, and here we have the German list. Not much change really. Obviously the Panzer IV Company hasn't been reinforced, but luckily there was enough infantry units to bring in anyway. Just a few rejigs from the reinforcement pool, and that's it. And some more 88s were purchased, and the machine gun nest card again. And there we go, we can see the reinforcement pool still got quite a few half tracks and MG42 teams in there, and a few reinforcement points left. So hopefully a victory for the Germans just to get a bit more points on the board, and obviously we'll need to buy some more stuff back for the final game, hopefully the final game. Okay, so here we have the mission, Swinging the Sickle. So this is in the Bagration books. Yeah, so hopefully you can read the rules. Quite a fun mission. The second objective will be stay until turn 6, and that's because of Sherry's stunning victory that she had last game. Here we have the list today for the Soviets. This is the list I put together, again being both Soviet and German regimental officers. So we have the Hero Shock Rifle Company with the flame tanks in support, and artillery to fire smoke this time, and then we also have the RPG grenades, which we'll have a look at in a bit. So here we have the 2 rifle companies and their HQ. So full companies, that's 13 DPMG teams with a commissar and a flamethrower and heavy machine gun equipped to each company as well, and these companies will be the ones having the RPG grenades. Okay, and here we have the rest of the battalion. So we have the SMG company, and they also have a flamethrower as well. We have the scouts, they will be appearing this time, 6 of them, that is still the remnants from the first game, and then we have 6 120mm mortars for artillery as well. Okay, and here we have the support. So we have 10 T-34 flame tanks, the observation scout car that I purchased, the 3 remaining IS-2s, and then we have the howitzers at the back to fire the smoke and then rain hell down on the German lines. Okay, you can tell I'm doing a list now because nice plenty of command cards. So the RPG anti-tank grenades taken twice under the cover of smoke, reconnaissance by combat, which is nice because we get to reposition that ranged in marker, so quite deadly. Lucky and make your own luck, which is quite a bit of a favourite of mine at the moment. It's quite good, but you do kick yourself when you think you want to use it, but then you choose not to, and then it would have worked if you did, but that's what it is. So let's have a look at what the Germans bring in. Okay, so here we have the German list. Lots of units, lots of small, pretty much redundant units that can be withdrawn, not to weaken the formation. And then we have a few dribs and drabs of stuff, so like the Marders are coming back. We do have a lucky card to help out with a potential reroll, because these guys counterattacks are not very good, being 20th division. No pack front this time. Very much the guns are going to be condensed, and I wanted to keep the points spare on the reinforcement points, but MG Nest were bought as it doesn't break the bank too much. Okay, so here we have the infantry elements of the formation, 3 platoons, one of them armoured, and then the 2 other platoons have Panzer Shreks, as they by default all have Panzerfausts, and this is what the 20th Division is actually applies to, so their counterattack isn't great. Still in the formation, we have 3 Pak 40s, 4 MGs, which will be the MG Nests, 2 AA half tracks, 2 flamethrower half tracks, 2 grills, which usually you have a good game, and then we have 4 12cm mortars and 2 8cm mortars. So quite a decent amount of artillery, so 4 templates in total when you include the NEBs for the Germans. Okay, so here we have the support, 2 units of scouts, SD 250 scouts, the 2 remaining Marders, a OP, 3 NEBs, and 4 88cm AA guns. And that is it, so let's have a look at the command cards. So we have 20th Division NCO shortage, that's what's making the counterattack poor, and then we have the MG Nests, obviously we've used this plenty of times, and then lucky as well, because we're using the NCO shortage, but re-rolling that 5+ might not actually be that good anyway, because it's still going to be difficult to get. Field again, so this is using the random terrain generator for the eastern front. So we've got a nice little forest, little town, and this is a river, so will be a cross check this time, apart from the forwards. We have a ridge line. Then it looks like trees from this angle, but they're just going to be bushes, no cross checks. And then to the right of them, we have a bit of swampy ground, a little farm, and then we got all the fields around the farm, and you can see here the objectives down already, and you should be able to make out the dice, which are the deployment zones for the Soviets and the Germans. So the Soviets are basically just past those first 2 groups of trees, and then the German one is just behind those ridges and just to the right of the church. Okay, so I tried this for this battle because when I did a battle plan for Richard, there's a bit miscommunication of where the HQ tanks were meant to go, basically not in the open to get killed turn 1. So we can see here my 2D design isn't as good at what Marker and Samblitz is doing, but I tried, and I'll no doubt get better, and you can get the gist of what I'm trying to do with the Soviets. And it turned out I wasted my time because I have to fill in for Sherry for this game, so luckily I already know the battle plan. But then we get into the problem which is coming up. And the problem is Richard is using a list I made and my own defensive plan. So although I know the plan, roughly how it works, it is a rather good plan, because I always like to think I'm probably a better defensive player than an attacking player. And as you can see here, you've got the position of his units. There's no really arrows because they're not really going to go anywhere. And then I've given him a priority really of what to withdraw. And his ambush, the armoured grenadiers, I've instructed him to bring them in event of losing the game. So if a unit is pinned on the objective and can't counterattack and push the Soviets off, therefore losing the game, the grenadiers will come in. Obviously there's plenty of cover around the objectives, so they can come within 4 inches, move, and then charge in, and with the weight of fire from the half tracks should be enough. So knowing this in the back of my mind, attacking as a Soviet is going to be problematic. So it's Oracle of Battle time, everyone's favourite. And basically we worked out that every time we've done this feature, my wife was actually pregnant at the time, and as of the 8th of this month, so you can see now there's a bit of a lag in the videos and when they come onto YouTube, she's no longer pregnant. So this is her first attempt at Oracle of Battle being not pregnant. So does the power lie with her, or is it my son Reese, who is potentially going to be the new Oracle of Battle, and Jen's going to have to hand over her helmet to him. And obviously, I haven't even told you her prediction yet. So her prediction today is going to be the Soviets. So this is probably the first time she's ever backed me, but she thought Sherry was playing as them. So hopefully it's not that, and hopefully it wasn't my little boy giving her powers.
Okay everyone, so we are ready, we're set up. I am actually filling in for Sherry today. Sherry's not well, so I've actually been doing a lot of the regimental stuff for the Soviets as well. So I'm playing both sides, so you know what happens, I shall win this campaign, which is great. So let's go over Richard's deployment. So he has an MG nest here and here. He has the scouts and the marders in the town. On the first objective, he has first platoon with a MG nest and the flamethrowers and scouts close at hand. Further back here, we have the 8.8cm AA guns. We have the grills and the nebs, the AA trucks and the OP back here. We have another MG nest in this barn here, and then the rest is here. So we have the Pak 40s, we have the mortars, 12cm mortars back here, the 8cm mortars, here is the HQ, and then we have 3rd platoon. So it is the armoured Panzer Grenadiers who are in ambush. And as you can see, we have smoke here, so because now I'm in command of the Soviets, I am using under cover of smoke, which is, I don't understand why we haven't been using it. So it is here blocking off the 88s. And now let's look at the Soviets. So from left to right we have the SMG company here. We have 1st company here with the HQ behind. We have the flamethrower T-34s. OP is in the middle, right in front of the howitzers. We have 2nd company behind the IS-2s. We have the 120mm mortars here, and the scout company on the right. So before we start the game, I am going to, because technically I'm already using under cover of smoke because I'm going to keep that so I remember what happens. I'm going to be using the reconnaissance by combat card, which is amazing. This is basically what the British have in mid-war. Richard, can you pass me the old template, please? So basically I get to reposition my ranging marker. So my mortars are arranged in somewhere here. I think he's on my template. So I'm going to change them up so they are back here instead on the 8cm mortars. And just to make sure I'm doing it correctly, I might be able to draw line of sight. So good luck to you, Richard. I'll do that when I've done it all properly. And we have Soviet turn 1. Okay, so my movement. The SMG companies, a lot of them are in the church, thanks for follow me. These guys are moving a bit of a weird shape because they're avoiding this template here and the one over there. T-34 flamethrowers, a couple of them are just sneaking in range of this building here with the MG nest, and then a few others across the road. The OP is moving towards the ridge with the IS-2s doing a dash, but I'm going to have to move them back a bit because of the half tracks within 8 inches, so I'll move them back now. And then these guys are moving up, failed their follow me, and scouts failed their follow me, and these guys failed their follow me, so I'll move these IS-2s and then I'll get into some shooting. Okay then, so I only had 2 flamethrowers that could hit the MG nest. I failed to hit, but then I did get 1 hit with the regular guns, but Richard passed the save. The only other shooting I had was the 120 millimeter mortars, and they managed to wipe out 2 of the 88, so that wasn't too bad. And in the end, basically, with the IS-2s, I moved them back, and then I went, oh, since I'm moving back, I'll do a follow me. So it ended up in the same place anyway, so that was a waste of a bit of time. So we are going into German turn 1. Okay, Richard rolled a 2 for the 88, so they have not rallied. Ambush is not coming in, so we're straight through to German movement. Okay, so only movement for the Germans. We have the scouts doing a blitz move to mow down some infantry, and then the Marders did a blitz move but failed, and basically with the lines on it, one of them can just about get a hit on one of the IS-2s, and the other one didn't fancy having a little move to try and get rid of T-34 there. Very much trying to take some cover at the moment. So that is it. So now we have plenty of fire coming in from the Germans, well, mainly artillery. but the scouts there can do a little bit of damage at least. Okay, so German shooting. We still have the Marder miraculous shot as well. So we do have it down as concealed. So it's going to be 3 normally, 4 concealed, 5 range, and 6 because you failed your blitz, but 1 shot because you moved. No, so you get a 2. Okay, so far with the shooting, and we've got the MG nests that are still here, so we'll do them, and I'll come back because we've just done artillery. So the 12cm mortars got a couple of hits on the T-34s, but no damage. A lot of things ranged in over here using spotters. This unit is pinned, lost a flamethrower and 3 teams. And that is pretty much it for shooting wise. So the MGs are going to have a little crack. That's it's mostly going to be this unit. Most likely should get pinned from this fire, but we'll see. So we'll do these, recap, and then we'll see if this guy can do their shoot and scoot. Okay, so the MG...
Oh no, they're in the way, aren't they?
They're in the way. Okay, so the MG Nest have pinned First Company, and I've lost 3 rifle teams. So the interesting thing we were wondering is, can these guys shoot and scoot out of there? So go on then.
3.
Yes. Yep, they do. So they are going to get out of the way, and these IS-2s are going to have to hunt them down another way. So that is it for the German turn. Going to be no assault, so we're going into Soviet turn 2. Okay, so always nervous about rallying units, but they all rallied because I'm not playing British, which is nice. In fact, if I was playing British, they wouldn't have unpinned. Okay, so we'll go into my movement, and hopefully I can get rid of these pesky MG nests. Okay, movement. So the T-34s have moved all about the place, so a lot of targets mixed up, but all within leadership of the unit leader, so no penalties there for their flames. SMG company is moving to try and get rid of their MG nest here. First company is there as well, so just these are all fail safes in case the T-34s don't do their job. And there's a few more going for the first company here. My OP has made it onto the ridge of the hill, so you can do some spotting next turn. IS-2s are just creeping round, hopefully get rid of the scouts, and hopefully these guys will either not unpin, or I might get rid of a few more next turn. Scouts are moving still behind the ridge, and second company moving, just try and get away from some of these artillery templates. Okay, so let's go into some shooting. Right then, so far we have got rid of the 2 MG nests in here with plenty of shots to spare. Got rid of one of the guys from First Company here, so they are going to be needing a pinning check. I wasn't able to get rid of any of the 88s. I did have a chance, so I should have used Make Your Own Luck. But it is what it is. And then we have the scouts here losing 1 of their number to the IS-2s. Overkill here, so that is it. So we're going into no assaults because there's no one in range to assault because they're all dead now.
You can attack with the tanks?
No, because you've got like a Panzerfaust and a Panzerschreck there, and I might be able to make it in with 2, although that would be nice. No, I'll wait for more stuff to turn up, although you will attack him, but I do have cover and fire. I'll measure it up and we'll get back to you. So I did it. I basically got a T-34 bailed. I managed to actually kill someone with my 5+ assault, with the flammable assault. And basically Richard failed his counterattack. He didn't want to use his lucky, so he's lost his MG. 2 of these guys, so it's basically this guy and this guy, are still in their foxholes because they didn't have to push back. MG nest gone, and the flamethrowers had to go back ever so slightly, but that is it. And then I consolidate the unit, so a few of them are still on the objective, taking a bit more cover though from the Marders when they eventually do their thing. So I will get some concealment from the bridge, but that's not looking too bad, shall we say. So let's go into German turn 2. Okay, so these Grenadiers have failed to unpin, but the 88s are a success story. So we're going into German turn 2. Okay then, so German movement. The scouts have moved to here, Marders did a blitz move and the scouts moved back here to use their MGs. We did withdraw a unit. It was the AA guns at the back. That's what they're there for. So that's where we end movement. So now we have some shooting. Okay, so the Marders got quite a few hits on the T-34s, getting 2 kills and 1 bail. Then the artillery really hammered 2nd Company, losing quite a few bases. And then the Nebs ranged in over on here on the 12cm mortars, or the 120mm mortars, shall we say. Got a couple of hits, but luckily no kills, so I'm okay over there for now. And that is it, really. These guys aren't firing to remain gone to ground. So we're going to Soviet turn 3, and finally the smoke goes.
3.
Okay, so T-34s, the guy who's been bailed out remains bailed, 2nd Company is unpinned, and the mortars are pinned. So again, could have used the auto thing, make your own luck, but reluctant to use it, so into my movement and see. Oh no, I've got a lucky card. I'll re-roll that. I get a 1, so no, that's a shame. So I use my lucky card. Okay, never mind. Okay, right, so we're going to movement. Okay, so this is movement done. SMG Company basically occupied this building, so these guys are going to have to think about staying here next turn. Infantry are moving up, HQ's up in here, and then T-34s have moved into a elaborate pattern trying to do stuff. 2nd Company has not moved down the ridge but around, mopping up what the IS-2s can't finish off with the scouts, and the Scout Company is just moving behind the ridge waiting for their turn to advance. And that is it, so let's do some shooting. Okay, so shooting wise, a flamethrower of all things killed this scout, and then there's a Hail Mary shot with 2 T-34s which I managed to get 2 hits on the Marders and bailed them both. So now I'm really opened up now to an idea with assault with the SMGs here, because if he fails his counter-attack, these Marders are gone as well, so that would be good. I failed the range in my artillery on the 88s, so they're not pinned now, so I'm going to have to hope my shoot and scoot with my IS-2s works. The IS-2s did get rid of the scouts, so that was nice, but I didn't get any hits with my flamethrowers, needing 7s because flamethrowers are overworked, which we found out a few turns ago. Right, we have some assaults to do, but as we go into the assault step, I'll be doing a shoot and scoot with my IS-2s. Right, so when assault went good down here, so only lost 1 guy, only 2 hits Richard got on me with 6 dice needing 3s. It didn't kill any in the assault, but Richard failed his counter-attack and then failed to get over this wall, so they died. They surrendered, and the Marders were within 6 inches, so they surrendered as well. So then my SMGs have gone into here. Managed to get 1 kill with the T-34s going in. 1 got bailed through a Panzerfaust, and then another 1 got killed by a Panzerfaust in the assault. But yes, as you can guess, Richard did successfully counter-attack without his lucky card, which is good for 20th Division. Very much needed, otherwise that could have been game. So we're going to German turn 3. Okay, so these guys have managed to unpin, which is great. And that was it for motivations. No ambush, and the 8cm mortars have been withdrawn from service. So we have German movement. Okay then, so only movement we've got really is the flamethrowers to the blitz and a tactical to get away, and then 1 failed to get over the wall, and that's really what happened this turn. So we have German shooting, and again, it's glad you've given you all that artillery, isn't it, for the list. So let's see what they can do with this. Okay then, so only kill I think was the T-34s. Yeah, so and that was from the 88s. The Pak 40s completely missed them over here. And then it was another turn for the artillery. They pinned my... Did they get a pin? Or did they hit... No, I don't think they hit anyone, did they? On the hill?
Can't remember.
No, they missed everyone on the hill because they ranged in last attempt. Nebs got in first attempt by here, and they pinned the HQ and first company, but then the grills ranged in last attempt on the SMG company in this building, and unfortunately no hits. Very close though, and that is it. So this objective does go, because this is the end of turn 3. So this one will stay a little bit longer because of the Sherry's awesome victory last game. So we're going to Soviet turn 3. Okay, so in my motivation I unpinned the infantry here and the HQ, and then I use make your own luck to rally the 120mm mortars, because I really want them to be firing again this turn, because I got stuff for them to do. And there we go, so we're off into my movement and my merry men will be on their way. Okay, so movement. The SMG company has come out to play with, unfortunately, no objective there anymore. First company's moved into this building. HQ is going to just stay where he is for now. You'll just have to bear the brunt of repeat bombardments. 2 of the T-34s have moved up to do some flamethrower damage. Another one has moved up because they're going to be needing to do some shots on the flamethrower half tracks. Second company's moving up, trying to take into some cover. The scout company is moving up, and the IS-2s, only one has moved just to get a line of sight onto the Pak 40s, and that is it. So some shooting to come, and hopefully I can do a decent job. Okay, so basically this grenadier platoon here is proven very stubborn. I pinned them, but I can't kill them with flamethrowers, everything. Likewise with the 88s, those 2 first kills early on, that's all I've been able to get. They are pinned again, and I managed to bail out a half-track. So that's all my artillery arranged in at this point, and that's pretty much the damage I've been able to do so far. So hopefully he won't get back in, and that will be trouble for Richard there. So I do have some assaults, so I do have the T-34s, could go in again maybe. Or I should go with the infantry first. I'll do the number crunching and we'll see. Okay, so I went in with the T-34s first. No hits from defensive fire. And I managed to kill one of them, and then they broke off. Failed their counterattack. And then I was thinking the SMGs, but no, I'm not happy about that. So we will go into German turn 4.
About Star Wars.
Okay, so the only thing so the MG didn't unpin, and the flamethrower did not get back in, so they've been withdrawn, so they actually count as destroyed because they're not in good spirits. And that is it, so no ambush again. So we'll be going into German turn 4, and what will they be moving? They'll probably be digging in stuff again, as they have been for quite some time, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, the only thing in the movement phase, these guys tried to dig in, they didn't, so most likely they won't be firing to benefit from gone to ground, so they don't move. So, right, we will be going into shooting. Okay, so Richard's anti-tank managed to bail a T-34 and kill an IS-2, and then the artillery's pretty much pinned every single infantry unit apart from the HQ, the scouts and my howitzers. The mortars again have felt the tension of the nebs. But yeah, there we go. So we're going into Soviet turn 5. Okay, so he has not got back in. All infantry have unpinned, good boys, but then the mortars on their 4+ got a 3, so they remain pinned. So off to move in my troops again. Okay, movement done. So everyone's moving, crabbing across, getting over here. Second company's moving, SMG's engaging, IS-2's moving. Everyone, even HQ's getting involved, even though his 2IC isn't listening to me. So closing in, plenty of assaults going on over here. But we'll see how it all stands after the shooting. So let's get into stuck in with the shooting, shall we? Okay, so basically shooting wise, this platoon is down to 2. I've been unable to kill or even pin the 88 with a lot of fire. I did have a few shots at the grills needing 7s. I got 2 6s, but then I got 2 4s, so shame, could have done with that. My artillery failed in the ranging again, going for the nebs this time, and then a few pot shots here and there. The scouts will have a bit of firing, I think. There's only one guy I can get, but I could just... Yeah, I'll go for him. That'll be nice. So we'll do some shooting on the scouts, and then we'll get into that. Into the assaults. Okay then, so quite a few assaults. So down here, I finally got rid of that platoon, and I've also got rid of the 88s and the MG nest. And then the scouts had a little go because they didn't fire, they were still gone to ground. I killed one of the platoon and they broke off, but the packs passed their last stand, killed an SMG team, scout team, sorry, and then I failed my last stand. So somehow the packs, who've done nothing all game, has won an assault. So I'm bunched into the corner, still gone to ground, and we're going into German turn 5. Okay then, Richard's done his morales, all pass, and the 12cm mortars have been pulled back. So we have movement, and again, ambush has really been held to the last hour, which is good, which is really good. So we'll see what happens then. Okay then, so everything's pinned again, even the HQ this time. The only thing's not pinned are my howitzers. I'm down to one active T-34. One's bailed. First company is one off from last standing. Second company's okay, and the SMGs are just about okay. So going into turn 6, still a lot to do, and I didn't lose anyone from the scout company, so they've been a pain. So that's good for them. So we'll see what I can do. Motivations. T-34 did not get back in, but he passed his last stand thanks to the HQ telling him to. All my infantry over here have rallied. The scouts have not, and the mortars again have not. So problems my side, but I can cope with them just, I think. So let's go into the movement phase. Movement. We've moved a couple of guys up here, did some follow me's. This company actually passed and the HQ did. Second company did not. Oh, I haven't even moved my SMGs yet. I'll move them. That's exciting, so much stuff to move, I'm forgetting. T-34 he hasn't moved, IS-2s have moved up, and I've left a heavy machine gun to do some heavy machine gunning. And that's it, everything is moving to where I need them to be, basically. So shooting phase after the SMGs. Okay then, so shooting wise, I did actually manage a ranging first time with my howitzers, which is a miracle. Pinned down the HQ and the grenadier platoon, but they're okay. Fired a couple of shots with the big guns from the IS-2s at the packs, no hits. Did get a hit with a heavy machine gun. He is outside of the follow me range, so you can fire. And then the T-34 missed his shots on the grills, so it's down to the assault. So I can do it in such a way so the grills can't do anything on the Nebs, the Neb assault with the only guy from second company, and I'll do that, and then I'll see, because the OP's forward firing, so you can't do anything to help. You'll just stay. He's looking over here for some reason. So we'll go into the assaults and see where we end up. Okay then, so basically the guy from second company went in, killed a Neb. The Nebs did counter, but they couldn't move into assault because they are gun teams. And then this guy counter-attack, killed another one, and then the Nebs run away. So the SMG company is stuck in the middle. Too far to assault the grills, but the grills have MGs anyway. So still a lot to do over here, and there's still that ambush unit to come in. And there is room just about to park it in here on the objective. And yeah, so let's see what happens in German turn 6. German motivation, Grenadiers unpinned, HQ did not, and then the ambush has popped by here. So well kept in reserve, so they have a lot to deal with here. A lot of remnants of 3 Soviet companies here moving on to this objective, so hopefully they can get rid of them. So we have German movement. Third platoon from over here has moved with a follow me into this house. And then the half track's just repositioned to get some MG shots on the guys in the fields. And that is it, German movement. So it's down to shooting again. How much can they kill? Okay then, so first company has been completely wiped out. SMG company is down to 3. Second company is still standing. They're not pinned. And the T-34 flame tanks are gone. So that's 2 units lost in 1 turn. but that's the first unit Rich has managed to kill. So he is contemplating an assault with his company here, so his platoon in the building, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so the fellas in here did come out. I killed one of them in defensive fire because only two could make it in. He killed my guy, I counter-attacked, I killed him, so we're both pinned by a consolidated more around the farmhouse. So that's where we end it. So we go into Soviet turn 7. Okay then, so SMG company is still pinned. Second company is unpinned, good for them. Oh, sorry, there's still a guy from second company to move. And scouts have unpinned and the mortars have unpinned, so looking pretty good, shall we say. So let's see what we can do. Okay then, so IS-2s have moved up. HQ tried to dig in, so then I tactically moved them here instead. The SMG company has dug in. Second company have surrounded this building here, and the scouts have moved behind the Pack 40s to try and get rid of them. So still all down on the wire really. So well, let's see what is going to happen. Okay, shooting. The IS-2s didn't hit anything. I had a few hits with SMG fire and rifle teams, but not enough unfortunately, so it's down to the assaults. Okay, 2 assaults done, so 2 Pack 40s gone. They counterattacked, obviously couldn't do anything, but then the scouts failed their counterattack. So these guys are pinned and last standing. Guys went into the house, lost 1 through defensive fire, and then killed 3 of the Germans in there, and then they failed their counterattack and they've pulled back to here instead. So another team last standing, so quite a bit to do for the Germans really at this point in time. So we will go into German turn 7. Okay, so these guys passed, both units here passed their pinning unit, and these guys have passed their last stand as well. The Pack 40s on the other hand did not. So 2 delay counters for the Germans, so no units are going off yet. So German turn 7, what are they gonna do? Okay, so shooting wise, the Germans didn't actually kill anything. I don't know why Richard didn't want to try and assault, just a bit standoffish. But I think he's mainly trying to keep in his foxholes. So luckily no kills, nothing new pinned. Everything's already pinned anyway. So Soviet turn 8. Okay then, so the SMG company is unpinned, but the scouts have not. So still a lot of work to do. Okay, movement. SMGs who unpinned has moved to here to go into the side of the grills, hopefully cut off the defensive fire as well. And then second company, what's left of them, is move in to get the guys in the barn. And well, it's all down to this, I suppose. So oh no, I'll try and dig in my HQ. Oh no, my HQ will move over here and do some stuff as well. So well, it's all or nothing. Okay, so I tried ranging in back here and I failed, and the IS-2s have missed again. They only seem to be able to kill scouts. And then I managed to pin the HQ and actually kill the 2 I see in the barn here. So that's quite good. So it's down to assaults again. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I managed to kill the HQ and third platoon is down to 1 man. But my second company is last standing and I only have 1 HQ unit left. I did manage to get in on the grills, taking 2 hits, no casualties, because I managed to get in the way of all the defensive fire. It did get 2 hits on the grills. I didn't get a kill, which is a pain, and then they broke away, which is even worse, because they're going to die, and I really need to kill a grill. So, well, we go into turn 8 for the Germans now. Okay, so these guys have pinned, and that remaining guy of third platoon is gone. So 2 units left, nothing withdrawing of course. So this is it, turn 8, 1 more turn after this, and I need to get rid of the grills. Oh, that's it really, basically. So German turn 8. Okay, so the SMG company is gone. These guys have pivoted to a stop and assault. So this is my final turn. I need to do something drastically now, and the sun's really getting annoying, so let's just close that for a little bit. That's better. Sorry if you've all been a bit blinded. It is very warm in here today. Okay, so all my guys passed their last stands, and I didn't move anything because it was all down to IS2s or something killing the grills. Now the artillery ranged in first attempt, which was great, but then they didn't hit the grills. They killed one of the grenadiers, and then the IS2s continued their form by not hitting anything. And a very bloody win to you, Richard. Minor victory, and even if I had won, it would have been a minor victory and a lot of casualties. So I think the Germans
Absolute
are quite.
carnage.
Yeah, I think the Germans are okay going into the final game. Soviets, I think, have got enough points to scrape together. Probably this list again, although the IS2s need to do some work. Man of the match, for me, probably the Flame T-34s. They did a good job, and they always do. What about you?
Oh, maybe that platoon that held up there, because it held on a long time, or these guys right at the end.
The ambush was pretty good.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, I think you've learned a good lesson by keeping it later, because if you popped them up early over here,
Yeah.
or down by there, I might have been able to chop them up with my tanks and stuff. But yeah, no, it was a good game. So
Yeah, I'll give it to those guys for keeping me in right at the death.
yeah, awesome. So I'll take a photo of those lads. So roll on to the final game.
Yep.
Okay, so what a hard-fought bloody victory for the Germans. So it ends up basically both get the same amount of reinforcement points. So luckily, still quite a few left in the bank for the Soviets from last game. But as you can see, only one formation there that can really be used without spending anything. Basically, at this point, I've already done the list for the Soviets for the potentially final game. I'll go over why it might potentially be the final. Basically, I'm buying back in the shock rifle companies, finding some recruits along the way, and that will be it, and a few command cards. So basically, scraping what is left in the reserve pool. They've been sat down long enough, so we will try and get back to full strength, and it is doable. But if there's another game after, then we'll have trouble. So let's have a look at what the reserve pool and points look like. So reserve pool is pretty much just dribs and drabs at this point. The T-34-85s are actually going to go and be moved. We will see this before next game, and plenty reserve points. So although the list looks quite short on points, there's 55 coming in there, and we've got plenty of DPMG teams to kind of like bulk up the list a little bit. So we can buy a depleted company and then add these guys in. So yeah. So let's look at the German list. So here we have the German list. As you can see, plenty to call upon in terms of the infantry formations. And as you see, there's plenty of MG 34 teams in reserve pool and half tracks. The only thing lacking really is big guns. They seem to be getting purchased and gone through quite quickly. Although, yeah, I've already done a list for the Germans, and yes, we do struggle for points to get the big guns back in. So we'll see, will we do without them, or will I use the points to buy them back? As you can see here, the reserve pool, a few things in there, and reserve points. As you can see, things being bought in, it will be scraping the barrel a bit, because things do add up when you buy them. And as I mentioned, the next game might not be the last one, because we did the number crunches based on the scores, and basically the way it works out, if Richard wins in any form, he wins the campaign based on what he points. So basically we got the current score at 19-14. If Sherry was to win a stunning victory, it will be the last game with Sherry winning the campaign. But if she was able to get a major victory, it will actually tie the scores. So we will go through to a final game using the mission matrix with Sherry's being the attacker, obviously, because she won the last game, and Richard being the defender again. But for the Soviets, that game would be a bit rougher because of the state of their regiment might be in that game. But if she was to get a minor victory, it would still be an overall victory to Richard. And well, it would be an interesting game. And the list's already done, but we might have a little bit of a wait for my little boy to get settled in and all.